Welcome back to Red Monkey Reddit videos. Today, I have curated a really special selection for you guys. Please enjoy the next few minutes of Reddit stories. Thank you for tuning in today, and remember to like, subscribe, comment, and share with your friends. And now, let's get started with the first story.
Am I the asshole for telling a parent to control her 8-year-old? I 17M went to the store with my grandparents for a day out of the house, and I have a medical alert service dog I bring almost everywhere with me in case of medical emergencies. I had went to the hygiene part of Walmart and my grandparents were on the food part of the store. I was looking at soap and other things. My dog was laying in front of my legs on a traffic leash in case of fainting episodes. I had my back turned and this 8 or 9-year-old child yells "Mommy, a puppy," and runs up to me and tried to touch my dog, and I told her no, and she kept doing it, and I kept telling her to stop it, and that's not how you should ask, and I told you no, I mean it. And about 3 minutes later my legs gave out and my dog didn't alert on time because of this kid touching him, and I'm pretty sure I passed out because I was laying on the floor with my dog licking my face. I have bruises on my legs from it, and the kid's mom showed up and I told her to control her child and teach her not to pet random dogs. She doesn't know because it's a good way to get attacked by a dog, and she called me a hole and said I was overreacting when her daughter distracted a service dog, and I told her it was illegal in the state and that it was a Class C misdemeanor. Then she walked away. So AITA for telling a mother to control her kid?
What a crazy story that was. And now, on to our next Reddit story.
Your young child isn't your BFF. Not sure if it's appropriate for this sub, but I feel that this needs to be said. Too many parents gossip and speak negatively about others, strangers, relatives, and the other parent, to their 3 to 12-year-olds, and I find it bizarre. Especially when the conflict doesn't even involve the child. It seems unfair to turn a little kid against others when they are going to be biased anyway. I've even seen adults in public bullying strangers and involving their children. Your job as a parent is to model appropriate behavior and teach them right from wrong. If you have a problem with a peer, you address it with that peer. Kids shouldn't grow up worrying about adult issues. It's hard enough going to school and dealing with classmate bullies, etc. No child should have to be defending mommy from people she doesn't like in their free time. Also, using your kid as a bodyguard is all kinds of sick. I've seen mothers on public buses cussing out and threatening childless individuals, knowing they likely won't retaliate because of the child. To me, that's child abuse. Full stop. I worry for my future children since so many of their peers are going to be raised by people who never matured past age 14.
What a crazy story that was. And now, on to our next Reddit story.
I posted this in a different subreddit, but thought it belonged here too. I gaslight my husband when we fight. This isn't anything crazy, just something funny that I want to tell people about, but can't risk getting caught. My husband, 30 male, and I, 30 female, have been together for 8 years. For the past couple of years I make him a peanut butter and jelly sandwich every day to take to work. I use Welsh grape Concord jelly. This is important for later. Every day he tells me that I make the best sandwiches, and I just say I make it with love. However, when we're fighting he always says he can taste the difference in his PB&J, and I say because I made it with hate. But the truth is, he can taste the hate in his sandwich because when we fight, I use organic, sugar-free grape jam. It's in the back of the fridge and he's never seen it, so it's what I use to convince him that he can't make me mad or my anger makes food taste different. Like I said, this wasn't anything crazy, but it's something I always get a giggle out of and thought all of you would too.
What a crazy story that was. And now, on to our next Reddit story.
Exempt employee. Sick with COVID and emailed my boss that I can't come in. I asked if I can work from home, but he said no and I should take the day off. The next day I asked again, just so I won't use up my sick days. He finally said yes and that I should only work half day and use 4 hours in sick leave. Not too happy, but I do what I was told, and then got an email from HR, exempt employees get full day of pay as long as they work at least 50% of the day. Since then I've been leaving work early when I finish my work for the day. It's been pretty much 5 to 6 hour days for me. Technically, my boss is from another department and we seldom have to cross paths.
What a crazy story that was. And now, on to our next Reddit story.
Am I the asshole age if I don't want to go on vacation with my friends because they try to micromanage the expenses? I, a 30 male, have a group of 5 friends from university who are around the same age as me. For the past 2 years, we've gone on vacation together, first to Mexico and then last year to Egypt. We've always had a great time, and we get along well. However, when it comes to sharing costs, I find myself struggling. It's not the group that has an issue, it's me who has the problem. To provide some context, we all met at university 9 years ago and have been working for the last 5 years. Our university was ranked number 1 in the country at the time, though I no longer keep track of the rankings, and we all landed jobs just a month after graduation. I mention this to illustrate that we are all financially secure. I know for a fact that each of us earns between €80,000 and €100,000 annually. In terms of vacation costs, I typically spend around $3,000 for each trip, which is more than my friends spend since I'm more comfortable with spending. Additionally, I'm aware that the vacation money we receive amounts to at least double what any of them has spent on these trips. So this is the problem I have. Every night, they ask for a check, start checking off items for everyone, and then make that person pay exactly that amount. To me, that's embarrassing, getting nasty looks from the waitress who doesn't make in a day what these people make in an hour, waiting there for 10 to 15 minutes while they argue about who had what, and then starting to count bills and coins to pay. I suggested we split the bill 5 ways, but they don't want to do that. They have mentioned that I'm the only one who drinks alcohol with dinner and that it's not fair if they have to pay extra for it. We are talking about maybe €2. I even offered to pay more, but they still refused because some are not big eaters and don't think they should pay extra for others. It's 4 vs 1. To make matters worse, they spent every night comparing Uber bills because maybe I paid a couple of euros less for the ride. So now they are planning a trip for this year, and it could be the last one as some of them want to start families, but I'm thinking of saying no, I can't do this anymore. I enjoy our trips, but getting a pay request of €3 because I had a couple of glasses of rum someone else bought at the supermarket at our hotel messes with my mood. But I'm also the only one who has a problem with this, and I want to ask if I'm the asshole or if this is just a really strange way to handle finances. Edit, people keep asking why we don't ask for separate checks, and the answer is that most places we visit refuse to split the bill into 5. Also, some people think I want them to pay for my drinks at dinner, but I have offered to pay for my drinks, even if we split the bill. Edit 2, people keep asking how drinking alcohol is only a couple of euros more expensive. It's because while I drink a beer or two, they drink Coke or some other soft drink. So, at the end of the day, I had 2 beers, and someone else had 2 Cokes. Yes, the beer is more expensive, but only a couple of euros compared to the Coke. Also, some people think I'm a big eater, but I'm not the biggest eater in our friend group. I take ADHD meds, and if you use those, you know what it does with your appetite. Also, my share of the bill is always one of the lowest unless we stay long and I drink more, but again, I offered to pay for those drinks myself. Edit 3, people keep asking why I don't pay the whole bill and then split it later. I suggested that we try it. But then that night, people started arguing about who had what, and there were items on the bill nobody said they had ordered. So they went back to do it at dinner so there would be no discussions about who had what.